Welcome, adventurers, to another exciting episode of Fablefire. I'm Cameron Holt, and today, it's time for some more D&D Pokemon fusions. Sorry it's been a second, but I'm hoping to be able to put more time into the Fablefire channel soon. Between live streaming D&D every Saturday and putting out a new spooky stories and true crime style podcast on Mondays, Arcanorama and the Flickering Flashlight, both of which you should go check out through the links in the description down below. Fablefire has been a little on the back burner, but we're still cooking, baby! So let's hop in and make some creatures. Our first D&D monster is number 22, the Crawling Claw. It's the hand of a murderer reanimated so it can keep on murdering. Our first Pokemon of the day is Coughing. He's a gassy boy, and we love him for it. Let's mash them together and see what we get. When an alchemist meets their end, sometimes the experiments must go on. Summoned from the ether by the dark wizards and warlocks who need a few extra hands around the lab, gaseous palms are not only good for mixing, stirring, and carrying components from experiment to experiment, but are also helpful when it comes to neutralizing prying eyes. Their noxious emissions can poison intruders, melt away skin like acid, or even put unwitting prowlers into a deep sleep. When all else fails, they simply grip the nearest neck and squeeze. It's best to leave mysterious laboratories unexplored, for your own safety. The next monster up is number 92, Ooze. Gotta love a gooey acid. They come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Our next Pokemon is Torchic, the fire chicken with a sack in its belly that creates fireballs. I think we all know where this is going. The cave systems beneath the Galen Mountains in Windfell are extensive and unforgiving. One particular trick they like to play is that of the plume drops. When a lost traveler has been toiling through the caves for hours, unsure which path leads to the surface, there's a sudden spark of hope, an orange-yellow glow in the distance. Could it be sunlight? Have you finally made it back to the surface? Moving forward to investigate, you find yourself in a chamber full of brightly glowing ooze. The plume drops. Before you know it, they've crowded themselves behind you, blocking the path from which you came. But this is a dead end. Your only choice is to push through the slimy mess of glowing ooze back the way you came from. A seemingly simple task, sure, but beware. If anything touches the yellow fuse fronds of the plume drop, it ignites in flame, burning down to the inside tails of the fronds, which then detonate, causing a chain reaction of fiery explosions. If the flames don't get you, the cave-in certainly will, leaving a nice snack for the plume drops before they slither and slide away to find another cave in which to lure unsuspecting spelunkers. Tread carefully, adventurers. Our third D&D monster of the day is number 85, Madrons. These mechanical monstrosities from Mechanus have the worst lips, and I love them. The unfortunate Pokémon up for fusing is Feraligator. It's ferocious, it's an alligator, it's Feraligator. This is a very odd matchup, but I'm feeling up to the challenge. There's word of an eccentric artificer that lives in the wilds. They say you can find her workshop among a field of broken and horrific inventions. Decrepit mannequins hooked up to mechanisms that no longer function, gears that no longer spin. They say she was dragonborn once. Over the years, she continued to upgrade herself, adding parts to strengthen joints, built-in armor, removing unnecessary bits of flesh and bone in favor of steel, copper, and bronze. She hasn't been heard from in years. No one remembers her real name. Some say she's no longer a melding of machinery and flesh, but simply an automaton who's lost her own will, cursed to tinker and toil away with scavenged materials until the time that her own gears stop turning. Then there are others who say that she's always been this way, a machine forged for war with a ferocious disposition and uncanny semblance of mortality. What's the truth? Well, you'll have to find her yourself to ask. As for me, I'll be steering clear of that junkyard shack just south of Strandwick. Our final monster of the day is number 12, the Bulette. This armored, burrowing whale is no joke, and the final Pokémon up for fusion is Dragonair, the draconic danger noodle of the skies. In the far east of the continent of Windfell Along the coast of the Vigil Sea, sailors have begun to make some unsettling claims. A great beast slithers beneath their ships with such speed that it changes the ocean's currents. Others have reported capsized vessels from the behemoth breaching the surface. What is most troubling, perhaps, is that the reports continue to say that when the creature breaches the ocean's surface, it doesn't return from whence it came. It just continues ever upward, slithering from the sea to the sky, swimming and twisting among the clouds, changing their shape with its 6 fins turned wings. Some say they've seen it swallow an entire flock of seagulls with its enormous maw, before disappearing among the vapors in the sky. If you find yourself on a trek about the Vigil Sea, be sure to keep one eye on the depths below, and one eye on the skies. Stay safe out there, adventurers. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, there are many more like it right here at Fablefire, so subscribe for future fusions to come and to catch up on the past fusions. It would also mean the world to me if you'd check out Arcanorama on Twitch. We're live every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for some of the best D&D that you'll see on the internet, and I don't say that lightly. You saw the shirt I was wearing in the intro. We also give away a ton of free stuff during our live streams, including dice and D&D minis, completely free for you. We do 2 giveaways every Saturday. This Saturday, however, is our 1-year anniversary of going independent, and we're going to have a ton more giveaways throughout that stream, so give us a follow at twitch.tv/Arcanorama so you don't miss out. If you're into the paranormal, true crime, and spooky stories in general, check out the Flickering Flashlight on Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to podcasts. There are links to all of these in the description down below, as well as links to my personally curated list of D&D monsters I used for this episode, and the Japeel Pokemon Fusion website that I used for this episode. Thanks so much for subscribing and checking out my other projects. I'll see all of you in the next episode, but until then, stay safe out there, adventurers.